What's going on, guys? Tallen back here, and today we're gonna do kind of a double video-ish type of thing. Basically, if you can see right now, I found an LR Gohan friend. Wow. I don't know who you are, friend, but damn, you have a very nice Gohan the more I look at it. So this is pre-recorded. I did this while I was actually just kind of sitting around, and I was just like, oh, I found an LR Gohan. I don't have time to record, but I'm at least going to get the gameplay for it. So I did that real quick. So I wanted to do kind of a LR Gohan showcase. We're going to be facing off against the full form physical cooler, essentially. And then I also want to give my thoughts and opinions, because a lot of people have been asking me about this, even on my streams. What are my thoughts on the Goku Black buff that they are giving global, and what does that really spell for the game, essentially? So, and actually, I figured why not I do this right now anyway, because I've been seeing a lot of my other friends do it as well. So I was like, okay, well, I might as well throw my hat into the cauldron here and see exactly what's going to happen. So, like I said before, the gameplay is just simply a mono intel team going against Cooler with Gohan as a friend, and it actually does make it pretty nice. Even though you don't have those two Buhans healing constantly, having one Buhan is just fine. And then I've noticed that mono intel team is definitely starting to go more towards the prepare for battle instead of shocking speed, and Gohan is the nice bridge between those two, because the characters I'm bringing, Vegeta, Bardock, and Goku, and the Goku does help with the Cooler event actually, those guys all have prepare for battle. Gohan has prepare for battle. Shocking speed goes to Janemba, Piccolo, and Buhan, and Gohan has shocking speed. So there you go. Pretty good. So nonetheless, that's gonna be going on in the background. And so to answer the question, what are my thoughts on Goku Black getting a buff? Others have said that there have been other cards that have gotten buffs. I don't know of any to my knowledge. If you know what other cards on Global have gotten a buff compared to their JP counterpart, let me know it in the comments below. But when I looked at it, when I first heard about it, I was just like, wait, he's getting a buff? What? And at first, people were just like, yo, he gets a little bit of an HP attack and defense boost buff. And I was like, okay, great. Doesn't really change the card. And then they said, oh, by the way, he also gives all extreme types +3 ki. I was like, oh, wow, okay, this guy just got a huge boost. He's basically becoming the Goku, or the Rose, Super Saiyan Rose, essentially, because Rose does that. He gives himself an additional 100% at the beginning of the turn, and he gives +3 ki to all extreme types. So Goku Black is still his nuking self with attack up 3,000 for every orb obtained, and now he gives +3 ki to extreme. And if you kind of look at it, if you go back, and D-Free actually reminded this when I saw his video, was that, you know, when Goku Black originally came out on JP, it was in the midst of when Super was very popular. That was the beginning of the Trunks arc, the future Trunks arc, and Goku Black was already seen and everything, and he was generating hype and product and everything, you name it. So, of course, Dokkan's gonna dip into some of that little product making right there, and they're gonna make Goku Black one of the cards. And what was coming up next? Well, everything was done except physical and intel. We knew one of those was gonna be Vegeta. They had to make it Vegeta because Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the nukers, were already getting a Dokkan Awaken, so we knew already, okay, that means Vegeta's gonna be one of them, so who's gonna be the last one? Well, lo and behold, it was Goku Black. And yeah, when Goku Black came out, a lot of us, I remember talking about this with some of the other guys, Goku Black was a pretty lazy card in a lot of people's eyes. Don't get me wrong, Goku Black is amazing on JP right now. I use him on my villains team, he's on my mono physical team too. He's an amazing card. But when you looked at him when he first came out at face value, he was pretty lazy. Besides his leader skill, which was the demigod lead, you know, HP attack and defense up 100% for that type, his passive skill was a copy of Buhan's. It was a mere copy of Buhan's, except for minus the healing, obviously. And instead of 12%, it was +3,000 attack and everything like that. And when you look at its super attack, it was the same as that Dragon Ball Heroes, or that Dragon Ball Fusions card of Goku and Bardock fused. It was literally the take the ball in your hand, except a different shape and color, throw it at the enemy, and do an explosion with a view of the Earth, essentially. That's what it was. So it was definitely, a lot of people definitely looked at it a little lazy, and I guess the other part to it was that you could also farm it, just like Buhan, and the only difference was that Buhan had a 30% chance to do his Kamehameha attack, which then made that lowering attack and defense to greatly lowering attack and greatly lowering defense, whereas Goku Black is only lowering attack and defense no matter what. He's going to do the same attack no matter what when you get his SA to 10 and you can farm it. So You know, and he didn't really, you know, he had to prepare for battle. He had fear and faith and everything. But then when you put him onto a villain's team, a lot of good villains, especially top tier ones, they got, you know, shocking speed and other links that are not going to really fit well with Goku. And, you know, that's what struggles, especially if you use a double merge Zama's lead tech one, then you don't have a lot of ki coming in. That is why we run Rose. Rose is great for keeping that ki coming in, and it works out pretty well. But when you look at it at face value, once Black came out on JP, then the next thing after that was the God Banner. So a lot of people didn't even pull on Goku, on the Goku Black, because that was the only new card. That's the only thing you could use his medals for, and to this day, you can only use his medals for that. Whereas with others, at least, you could Dokkan Awaken at least one other card, if not 3 to 4, depending on what the banner was and everything. So no one really pulled on Goku Black, because then we got the God Banner, especially with the tickets and everything, and then the Rose and Blue Vegito banners came out, and you could pull Goku Black from that. So if you pulled them, you're like, great, okay, got a Goku Black. But at the end, it was kind of like, it was kind of a little underwhelming, essentially. So with this change that they've made to Global, I feel like they're trying to do this to actually incentivize some people to actually pull on it, because let's face it, with Global, especially anyone who is a YouTuber and plays mainly you know, the Japanese version of the game, we have all been telling you guys, you know, what's a good banner to go with or what is coming up. It's your choice in the end what to pull on, but from our personal experiences, pull this, pull on this, don't go for this one, wait until this banner. And I think JP is slowly, I think the, you know, the Bandai people or whatever, they're starting to catch on with this probably. They're starting to see, you know, you probably have some graphs in front of them when it comes to data. You know, I'm just guessing here. I don't have 100% proof on this, but I would assume that somewhere they are probably seeing some graphs and going, oh, yeah, we're not making as much as we thought we would. You know, this made a ton on JP. Why isn't this really going well with Global here? Well, two guesses why. So it's very interesting. You know, they would buff Goku Black, and now it's actually a pretty reasonable, you know, reason to pull for him, because if they don't change Rose, if they, let's just say, for example, they don't change anything else all the way up to Super Saiyan 4, then, you know, if you don't pull Rose, okay, that's fine. You still have Goku Black if you pulled him, and he basically does the same thing as a Rose in terms of the passive skill to provide that key to make a decent villains lead. I mean, or not villains lead, sorry, a villains team. Why not? He's a good card. So the main, you know, the real thing is though, is should you pull for him? Because let's face it, Global has changed some of the banners and the way and the order that things come out and everything. And it's definitely ticked some people off, essentially, especially if you've been watching a lot of JP content and everything. For all we know, Rose and Vegito Blue could be a ways off until they come out. They could come out Super Saiyan after Super Saiyan 4. Who knows? Because if they decide to do the same thing where they wait until it's showing in the dub version of Dragon Ball Super, it's going to be a long time till Global gets that. We still don't know anything like that. I mean, yes, the data's in the game and everything, but that doesn't mean they can hold off all they want. It's their game. They're allowed to do what they want. And it's going to be very interesting to see what they will change in the future coming. So the big question is, again, do you pull for them? Because if you guys know from JP, when the Villains banner comes out, you can pull Goku Black, you can pull Omega, you can pull Gohan, and you can pull Rose. And a lot of people got some very good pulls off of that. So it's kind of like, should you do it even with this buff right now? And if you get him, then hey, any others you get on the next banner and everything, then hey, you throw them into the ability system when that eventually comes out on Global, whenever that might be. Personally, I would say if you can get the stones and you don't mind spending on them, throw a little few stones at the Goku Black banner. I mean, assuming you don't change anything, you should have Brawly on there if you still want Brawly, because he actually is kind of good now. If not, then honestly, I would say save your stones, especially if you can't get a good amount of stones every now and then. It's really interesting. So you'll have to just kind of look at that from that perspective, because once the Villains banner comes out, everyone who pulled on Goku Black and didn't get anything, and then they get him there, or they notice he's back here, if you're not watching this video at all, they're going to be like, oh man, why did I pull? Why did I do that type of thing? So I don't know, it's hard to say. And this hit right here from Gohan is going to be ridiculous. Boom! Look at that damage on Cooler. Get out of here, Cooler. Yeah, Intel still top tier cards right now. Still top tier cards. Just wait until the Super or Extreme Intel Super Gods come out. Ooh, wow. Intel, you're going to be amazing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, let's face it. No matter what type you have right now, they're amazing. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's great. Goku's great. Cooler's great. They're all great. Doesn't matter. You know, you can nitpick. Well, this one's a little better than this one. Nonetheless, they're all great cards. So, yeah. But, yeah, so that's kind of my opinion when it comes to the Goku Black Change. It's kind of like, well, it's great. You know, I know why they did it. And, you know, in the end, it does help out teams, especially if you run a monophysical team. There are, depending on what card you have, links can be a little hard to come by for certain physical units. So Black does kind of bridge that gap right there. And on a villain team, especially if you don't pull Rose. If you should pull for him, it's really hard to say. I'll leave a link down in the description below, though, about my first attempt when I fought Goku Black, if you want to take a look at that. He's not that hard of a boss, so even if you don't pull him, or you're not going to pull for him, getting the medals for him is pretty easy. My first team I took, I didn't have Omega. I just simply took a Gogeta lead with a bunch of strength cards, and boom, Bob's your uncle. I did it, no problem. So it's really not that hard to go for, especially since a lot of people have Gogeta, or just bring any +3 key guy, and boom, there you go. Heck, you could bring Brawly as it, and yeah, there you go. And I have to admit, this right here was pretty scary when it comes to Piccolo getting supered on this guy, because we were near the end of this, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to last, but Gohan. Oh, getting that key. I want this Gohan so badly. I want this Gohan. Oh, it sucks that the rates are so bad to pull in. It is so terrible that, oh man, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And Goku almost finishes up here. Would have been really funny to see Goku beat him. And yeah, if you're watching this right now, I made a little bit of a mistake in not healing up here, which was not fun. But I don't know. Can this happen? Take a look real quick. But yeah, let's I haven't watched this in a couple of days, so actually I want to take a moment to kind of look at this. What did I do? What would I have done differently? And I would definitely say I would have healed up to be extra safe. Idiots. You think Janemba would have had just enough attack to take this guy down? Nope. And I get supered. And I got supered. For a second I was like, uh-oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. But I'm not. Buhan coming in with the Kamehameha, and boom, there you go. And that is how you take down Cooler. 7 medals. Still got to get a few more to, you know, just get the medals. I tried pulling on Cooler, and I got absolute crap. It's one of those banners. I know when I'm beat. I know when it's not going to give me Cooler, and I'm not going to play the whole just one more game. I'm done. I can live without Cooler for right now. I honestly can. I have both Super Saiyan 4s. I've got amazing teams. I can hold off on getting him. He will be back in another banner. I guarantee it. They always do. So, no, I'm just going to save my stones for the next one. Or, you know, I might do a couple of pulls more on the Gohan banner before. I don't mind getting a couple of SSRs because the rates are pretty high. If I pull Gohan, sweet. If not, oh well. I'll just wait for the next big god to come out. So yeah, so this is when I was looking for my friend, because I was just like, all right, where are you? Where are you? And there were 2 LR Gohans, and I was like, is it this one? No, that guy's Max. He's only SA1. This was the guy. And I was just like, oh my gosh. He obviously doesn't have any dupes of him and everything, but nonetheless, the fact that I found him level 20 was amazing. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know if you're going to be pulling for Goku Black and what you thought of the changes to him and everything. And do you think that they need to change it over on JP? I don't see them doing it. I doubt they will, but nonetheless, could be good. So yeah, leave your comments down below if you liked the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.